So we know most of the villains for Spider-Man PS4, but personally, I just want to list off the villains that we haven't had yet and revealed, or the villains that might be in the game, but probably, I don't know, they won't be a part of like the main story. They could be some type of side mission. My first one, I think most of us have a theory about Dr. Octavius being in this game, and I personally think that he's going to be the employer for Peter. He's going to be Peter's boss in the game, and I think that's going to be like one of the main plot lines. Is he going to become Dr. Octavius? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he will. I think they're going to save that for the second game. Honestly, I think that's what's going to be happening. I don't think that they're going to intertwine Dr. Octavius with, of course, the Spider-Man story quite yet. But if they do, that would be super cool. I'm completely down with that. I'm like 100% sure that Dr. Octavius exists in this universe and that he is Peter's employer. That's how confident I am in my theories, okay? That's my theory, guys. I'm sticking to it. The next one is Tombstone or Carrion. Listen, I don't know about you, but I don't know shit about Carrion. I guess I read him in the Superior Spider-Man storyline because I did read that, and apparently they had like some type of version of the Carrion virus there. But besides that, I know nothing about the character, and I'm not going to be doing no wiki search. If I'm going to learn about a character, I'll do it in a comic book, okay? I don't need to do a wiki search. I just don't know shit about the character, and he hasn't been in any cartoons. He's not that big of a Spider-Man villain. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because people think that this is like, this is going to be Carrion. This isn't going to be Carrion. This is going to be Tombstone. If it's going to be anybody, it's going to be Tombstone. And Tombstone, if you haven't watched the Spectacular Spider-Man series, which is one of the best ones, he's essentially like Kingpin, but with powers, or better powers, I guess. In the Spectacular Spider-Man, they treated him like a Kingpin character, like he was very, very Kingpin-like. And even the plot, like trying to take him down for a substantial amount of time, that's even being carried over to this game, where, of course, Spider-Man has to be careful about fighting this guy because, the cops don't even know if he's good or bad. It's something that they pulled over, and if they bring in Tombstone in this game, that's completely fine. I think a lot of people will love his boss battle, and I honestly would too. I mean, you just have to avoid being punched, and he's just really strong as fuck. That's the main power that he has, and that's something that can be used in this game very well, especially when other people aren't that really strong compared to Spider-Man. If Spider-Man gets beat up one-on-one against someone like Tombstone, I think that would be very interesting. The next one is Sandman. Now, we did hear that the Sandman Easter egg is in this game, that there's a vial of, sand on top of the Avengers Tower or something like that. And it also kind of just says, hey, we're saving some villains for a second game. Like, from what we know so far, they're saving, like, Dr. Octavius for a second game. If they don't use him this game, which I don't think they will, they're saving Sandman. They're setting up some things here. They have a list of villains they can use, and I feel like that they're going to be using these villains in the next game if they don't use them this game. But certainly Sandman is a possibility. If that's just an Easter egg, it's probably just an Easter egg. It's crazy that somebody found that within their playthrough, that vial of sand, and they just connected it to Sandman. It's kind of cool, but I don't think he's going to be in the game as well. He's going to be missing from the game. I wouldn't really be that surprised at all. And another one that would probably not be in the game due to, of course, the movie would be Mysterio. I honestly think that Mysterio won't be in this game. I think a lot of people agree with that too. He's just one of the characters that we really don't need in this game, and the fact that he's going to be in the Spider-Man movie as one of the main antagonists kind of just says, yeah, we're going to leave him for the movies, and then maybe after the movies on our second game we'll put him in, something like that, because clearly they don't want to take too much from the Spider-Man movies. They want to make their own property. They want to make their own world. So keeping Mysterio away from their game because they know that, of course, they're going to be in the movies, it makes sense. And the last one is Hobgoblin. I think that he is possible in this game. Like, I don't know how. I really just don't know how. But I feel like, out of all of them, if Green Goblin's not going to be in this game, why not just put in Hobgoblin? Why not just add that character and have him be a part of it? There are just so many villains that are missing from this game, and it makes me just really excited because what if they're just setting up the next game? What if they are saving these big villains like Dr. Octavius, like, maybe even Chameleon, Carrion? and then we would have to keep going down to like Sandman, Mysterio, and Hobgoblin. That's like a game unto itself. We really don't need much, and you could add the villains from the previous games as well. It would be so crazy to see that, and I think that Insomniac is trying to do that. They're trying to set it up. They want the villains in this game to be, I think they chose the villains very specifically. I think they chose it for a reason, and I think that the story for not only this game but potentially a second game, which I'll get into in another video, I think that them blending the villains from two games together, I think it would be a really good idea. I really think that this is a possibility that, of course, Sandman, Mysterio, Hobgoblin, and even Dr. Octavius, and even to some extent Chameleon, they can all show up in the next game. But if they do show up in this game, no one's going to complain. A lot of people will be happy. But those are just most of the villains missing from, of course, this game, and from what we've seen. We haven't seen these villains. We heard mention of some of them. There are some rumors and stuff about some of them, but you know, none of them are 100% concrete, and most of them are just missing from the trailer. So, I mean, those are the ones just missing. I honestly think that they could show up. At least half of them could. Like Tombstone, maybe even Sandman, and possibly Dr. Octavius. But besides them, the rest of them are probably going to be saved for the sequel, which is completely understandable. And even Hobgoblin, he could be in here somehow. But I think it would be kind of weird unless they really do explain him. And maybe even at Oscorp, or even at Peter's job, they can figure out a way to have somebody who is close to him turn into Hobgoblin, and then of course fight him, which would be pretty interesting if we want to at least have a good story with a bunch of villains and stuff like that. I mean, that's what they seem like they're trying to do. They're trying to add on a bunch of lore from Spider-Man, and I think a lot of people are going to be happy with it. So thank you guys for watching. That's basically my video. It wasn't too big, it wasn't too important, you know. It's just a video about Spider-Man villains and stuff like that who are going to be in the game and who aren't in the game right now from what we've seen. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.